dear students. Hope you are doing well at home. We are back to the mathematics class. I think this is for those in JSS 1. This topic is for those in JSS 1. This is their first topic, the first topic they should be doing in the third term. We know you are enjoying the ones we gave you all this while. Now, the topic is plane shapes in mathematics. Just as I told you lastly that third term basically about shape. The area in mathematics we are going to cover during this third term is about geometry, shapes and diagrams. Now, we first want to know just a simple definition of plane shape. A plane shape is any shape on a flat surface which extends in all directions. That's the basic definition of a plane shape. You just once you know it, it extends in all directions. It's just plane and it has sides. That's the quality, it has sides. Any drawing with side in mathematics is called a plane shape. It extends in all directions. Now, we have kinds of plane shape. From the kinds, you will be able to know what a plane shape is all about. So, kinds of plane shapes. We have a rectangle. Rectangle is the first kind of plane shape. This is a rectangle. What are the qualities of a rectangle? First, it said 4 sides and 4 right angles. A rectangle has 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 right angles. Right angle is this, here, here, here. This is a right angle, right angle. So 4 sides and 4 right angles. The first quality. Then the second one, 2 opposite sides are equal. Here is equal to here. Here is equal to here. So 2 opposite sides are equal. Then the first side, it has 2 diagonals. It has 2 diagonals. This is a diagonal. A diagonal, a line from one end to the other. A line from, so we can draw 2 diagonals from a square. So these are the qualities. So 4 sides and 4 right angles, 2 opposite sides are equal, and it has 2 diagonals. So this is all about a rectangle. So we go to the second kind of plane shape. This is a square. The first thing you say, every square, a square is a rectangle. It is a rectangle with all the sides equal. A square has the same quality with a rectangle. Just the only thing is that a square has all the sides of a square are equal. But in a rectangle, 2 opposite sides are equal. But in a square, all the sides are equal. So all that qualities, except the fact that all the sides are equal, is also happening. So a square is a form of rectangle. But in this kind of rectangle, all the sides are equal. Now we move to triangle. From that word, triangle is a Latin word. 3-sided. Triangle. 3-sided, meaning a plane shape with 3 sides. So the first side, the first one we discussed, rectangle 4 sides, square 4 sides, but triangle has to do with 3 sides, 3-sided plane shape. Now there are 4 types of triangle. The first type of triangle we have scalene triangle, what we call scalene triangle. In this form of triangle, this type of triangle, all the sides, it has different sizes. Say the 3 sides are of different lengths. It has of different lengths. This is a scalene triangle. See, here is 1, here is 2, here is 3. So none of the sides are equal. All the sides are of different lengths. That is a scalene triangle. Like here also we have 2, 3, 5. So they have different. Any triangle with different lengths is a scalene triangle. Then the second type of triangle is what we call right-angled triangle. Right-angled triangle, how we know right-angled triangle is this. It must have an angle of 90 degrees. So any triangle with an angle of 90 degrees inside it, it's called a right-angled triangle. Okay, so the third type of triangle, we have the isosceles triangle. In this isosceles triangle, 2 sides are equal. 2 sides of every isosceles triangle must be equal. That's how we know isosceles triangle. For example, you see this triangle, two sides, this side and this side are equal. So whenever you see two sides that are equal in a triangle, that triangle is called an isosceles triangle. For this one, you see this side is 4, this side is 4, while this one is 4. So 5 is an isosceles triangle. So in an isosceles triangle, two sides are equal. Now we have the fourth, which is the final type of triangle, which we call the equilateral triangle. Equilateral triangle. In equilateral triangle, all the sides are equal. All the sides of an equilateral triangle are equal. So you see the side, meaning that all the sides are equal. 3, 3, 3. So all the sides of an equilateral triangle are equal. Remember, isosceles triangle, two sides are equal. So with that, we have finished our discussion on triangle. We go to the fourth plane shape in our scheme of work, which is circle. Circle is just well known. It just, what is the simple definition of a circle is a perfectly round plane shape. You can draw a circle by the use of a coin, or use of a pair of compass. When you use a pair of compass, you draw a perfectly round plane shape, and that is a circle. So this is an instance, and in every circle we have the center of the circle. Now we have what we call the paths of a circle. There are paths of a circle. Every circle has the paths. We have the center. There is the center of a circle. We call it the center. It's part of the circle. The center of the circle, and that center of the circle, there is a line from the center of the circle to this place. We call this place the circumference. The distance round the circle is called the circumference. That's what we call it, the circumference. The distance round the circle is called the shape, the whole shape of the circle, the distance round it is called the circumference of the circle. And then from the center of the circle to the circumference, a line that begins from the center of the circle and touches the circumference, we call that line radius. It is called radius. In radius, the part of the circle. Then the line that cuts the circle into two, that cuts across this line from one circumference of the circle, it cuts across the center, it passes the center to another circumference. So it is called the diameter. The diameter is like two radii together. So from here to here is a radius. From here to here is a radius. And that's why in mathematics, a diameter is equal to 2 radii. So just like we have the diameter is the line from that cuts across the center to another circumference. So that is the diameter. Then we have a line also that touches two circumference, one point of just like the diameter. But the difference between this line and the diameter is that the diameter passes through the center, but this line does not pass through the center, just from one end to the other. It does not pass through the center. It's called the chord. So the chord does not pass through the center of the circle. Mind you, the radius also begins from the center to the circumference, but it does not pass through the center. So just know this is the radius, this is the center. The center is the point. This is the diameter, the line, and then this is the chord. The chord does not pass through the center. And then the final one, we have the arc. The arc is from the circumference, like part of the circumference is an arc. We call it an arc. From here to here. Look at an arc. You can draw an arc. This is an arc. So we call it an arc. Part of the circumference of the circle. From this region to this place, we call an arc. It's not a straight line, unlike the chord, the diameter, and the others. So the arc is part of the circumference of the circle, just part of it. It's not the whole of it. The whole of it is the circumference, but part of it is an arc. Is not so straight. Okay, now it's about the parts of the circle. Now this is regions of a circle. So we have regions, and just as we already know, this line is the diameter. The diameter divides the circle into two, and half of the circle is called the region. Of half of the circle is called the semicircle. Semicircle, just like we have semi-final. So the diameter divides the circle into two semicircles. So the region here is called the semicircle. Also, the whole of the region is also called the semicircle. So the diameter divides the circle into half.
the half of the circle is called the semicircle. Now, from that half, we have this is normally the radius, this is the radius, this is another radius. So, 2 radii, the area covered by 2 radius of the circle is called the sector. You can call this is sector, the area. This is the area. The whole of this area is semicircle. The area that the area between 2 radii is called the sector. So this is a region. This we call the sector. Then the area in a chord, this is a chord. This area, the whole of this area between the chord and what we call the arc, is called the arc. The area is called the segment. So we have 3 regions of the circle: semicircle, sector, and this area made possible by the chord and then the arc is called segment. So you have to know all these, the regions of the circle and then the parts of the circle. This is the 5th kind of plane shape. Here, this one is the general name for most of the plane shapes we have in mathematics. It's called polygon. A polygon is a closed figure with straight edges or lines. And so it's a polygon. Any plane figure with closed edges or lines is a polygon. And also, it may interest you to know that the triangle, the rectangle, and the squares we have discussed, they are all polygons. So, and there is what we call a regular polygon. A regular polygon is a polygon in which all the sides and angles are equal in lengths and sizes. So anything when you refer to something that is regular, it means all the sides and angles are equal. We have discussed 2 regular polygons. For instance, equilateral triangle. We have discussed equilateral triangle as a type of triangle in which all the sides and angles are equal. So equilateral triangle is a regular polygon. And also the squares. The square is a type of rectangle in which all the sides are equal. Is also a regular polygon. So these are instances. Now we go to type names of polygon. There are different names of polygons we have in mathematics and the number of sides. So the first one, we have the triangle. We have discussed that one. The triangle, it has 3 sides, and each polygon is named according to the size. See, triangle, 3 sides. Then the second one, quadrilateral, 4 sides. You can also give examples of quadrilaterals. We have discussed rectangle is a quadrilateral, square is a quadrilateral. So any 4-sided shape is a quadrilateral. So, and then we have number 3. We have pentagon, 5 sides, hexagon, 6 sides, heptagon, 7 sides, octagon, 8 sides, nonagon, 9 sides, decagon, 10 sides. So this is the limit we can go with regard to your scheme of work in JSS 1. So these are Greek terms. So these are the polygons, the names of polygons we have, and we are going to discuss at your level in JSS 1. As we have discussed as a type of polygon, quadrilateral is a name of a polygon. Quadrilateral means 4-sided. It means 4-sided. So we have discussed two type of quadrilateral. The rectangle is a quadrilateral and also a square. Now we have other examples of a quadrilateral which we have not discussed. Now the first example of a quadrilateral with any shape with 4 sides, 4-sided. We have the trapezium. What we call the trapezium. The quality of a trapezium: 2 opposite parallel sides. A trapezium must have 2 opposite parallel sides. Then it must have a perpendicular distance, which is the height. So this is a trapezium. This is the shape of a trapezium. You see the parallel, 2 opposite parallel sides, and then there is a perpendicular distance. The distance like this. So this is a trapezium. Just 2 opposite parallel sides. This is normally the shape of a trapezium. Once you see something like this, 2 opposite. This is a trapezium. It must have 2 opposite parallel sides, and then this is the shape of a trapezium. This is the perpendicular height, the perpendicular side with a right angle
and so this is a trapezoid. Now the final type of quadrilateral is the final example of quadrilateral which make up the what we have for the plane shape is what we call the parallelogram. Parallelogram is two opposite sides are parallel to each other. So this is an example of this is opposite side. The two opposite sides are parallel to each other. This one is parallel. This side is parallel to this side, while this side is parallel to this side. So in other words, you can say that a parallelogram is a rectangle with parallel lines. You see, it's just like a rectangle, but that the sides are parallel. The opposite sides are parallel. So I think that is all. So my dear students, with this, I want you to get yourself informed with the plane shape. This is the theoretical aspect of it. Next time we go to the mathematical aspect. But knowing the properties of this plane shape will help you to know how to solve them when we begin to do about the perimeters and the areas. So I wish you all the best. Stay safe. We love you. Bye.